welcome back. Now today's video is just gonna be another quick one. Sorry for that. Hopefully you guys are okay with me showing you another update to my Lego bodybuilders. But basically Roley now has been shortened in width, so he's now 4 studs wide in the main body, just like with Scoop, how he's 4 studs wide. So I did that because since Scoop was shortened in width and definitely looks better than what he looks like before, Roley also needed to be the same width. So I've shortened Roley in width, and I reckon Roley looks quite nice indeed. Now also, I had a look through on pieces and saw what I had, and I actually had majority of the pieces. There's only some pieces that I didn't have. Obviously these are still light grey, which, man, I really hope I can get those to be green one day. That would be great. So there'll be new changes to Roley's eyes, so they won't be inverted anymore. They'll be a round slope and just a smooth pupil, black pupil in the center. Roley's also going to get, like, if you see where the front roller connects, see this piece here, like there's a stud on top. That's going to be like a round circle Technic pin, so that way this whole front can smush down more. Roley's mouth will be a plate above that, so you see that's a plate basically, and I would just imagine that thickness for the mouth instead of this entire chunk of light grey. So it'll be looking a lot nicer, which will also allow me to add a sticker like I did with Scoop for Roley's mouth to get him to look more like how Roley should. So as you can see, he's also been shortened in length as well by 1 stud. So it used to be a whole nother stud back that way, which I kind of preferred, but there wasn't much I could do about that, because if it was another stud backwards, then it wouldn't be a perfect square for the roof. So you kind of just had to make compromises here and there. But the back of Roley looks a lot more how he did in the show, like it's very thin and the rollers are giant. Like not so much of a gap in between the big giant rollers anymore, which I quite like indeed. So I reckon that looks a lot nicer, a lot more like Roley. And if these pillars were thin, then you'd have the same gap that he would have in the show. Now, I'm not quite sure what to do with this front section here. So you see how, like, imagine a gentle slope that slowly but surely slopes inwards until it gets to that thickness there. That's basically what we're trying to go for here, but I'm not sure if I can get that in Lego. I can try, because also this bottom piece needs to slope up and slope inwards to create the exact look for Roley, but remember this is Lego, so you're not going to get it 100% accurate. So I can try, but I don't think it's going to work out, which is totally fine since it gives it its own unique look and Lego form, which looks quite nice. Bob's just here because since they've been shortened in width, my bodybuilder models, Bob should look a little bit more bigger next to them, which honestly I really do believe that's the case. So Bob definitely looks better. The E2 tank engine, now good news, I have actually gotten pieces for the E2 tank engine. So I recently purchased pieces for the E2. I'm going to get, Dizzy's going to have her round smiling mouth again. Muck is going to have his custom mouthpiece as well, which is going to look good. Lofty's going to have his thin roof, and Benny just fixed up some colorization. Although I really wish I purchased that one piece I needed for Roley's mouth. The piece I need is on Roley, but I'm not taking that off Roley because, yeah, no, not happening. So I think Roley looks fine with the mouth he's got at the moment, but definitely going to change that in the future. I was kind of on a budget. I didn't want to be spending too much money on Lego, so that's precisely why I didn't go ham and buy as many pieces as I could. I wanted to make sure I didn't go absolutely crazy. So yeah, that's basically the changes with Roley. and if you have a look at the top of them now, you can see that both of their roofs are the exact same size, and they just look so much nicer together, which looks really, really good. And I'm super excited to see the E2 tank engine to be 8 studs wide. That is going to be a great change. Yeah, and finally, the last model of today's showcase is going to be Dizzy. Now, as you can see, the only real difference with Dizzy is her face is a little bit more thick. So it's not one stud thick for the face, it actually overhangs, which I reckon looks nicer than what it was. But unfortunately, it's a little bit too thick compared to how Dizzy had it in the actual show. But I don't think there's a way to take away half a brick in width without compromising something else. So this is the best look, and I'd rather have Dizzy's face overhang than be completely flat. So it's really just a matter of, do you want it to be thicker, too thick, or too thin? So that's basically what I went through there. I'd love for it to be in the center, but Lego has not actually made any pieces with that. I want to get one more of these slopes so I can put it in the middle of the cut, which you can see there. That we can get rid of that weird piece there. I do unfortunately need one more piece to complete that look, so I can test it out on the computer, but I reckon now we'll get rid of that nasty, weird looking circle bit there. But there are just some pieces that would work so nicely for Dizzy's mixer, but unfortunately are not made in orange. So yeah, I'm thinking of reworking these wheels since I don't think they're ever going to come into orange. So I may actually potentially try and put this little round tile piece and squeeze it into the wheel. I know that may potentially be illegal, but it works. I've done it before. And that way her wheels can be orange and more accurate to how she was in the show. Now, whether or not the wheels are going to rotate is another story. I'm definitely going to have to work something out with that. And not to mention, strength is another important part. So yeah, this grill piece will be replaced with a nice half circle round tile, which will give her a smile instead of being neutral and weird looking, you know? Because Dizzy's always happy, at least most of the time, that is. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with my Lego creations. Sorry if this was a little repetitive of a video, but I thought, you know what, I've done some changes and some things have happened, so I thought I would update you guys on what's going on instead of having no video at all. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. And yeah, maybe next time it'll be the E2 tank engine, because next week the parts may arrive. We'll see, because I ordered them about a week ago. On the second week, usually takes about 3 weeks, so next week it's the third week, but yeah, we'll see what happens. See you guys next time. Bye.